What's up, everybody? This is Andrew from Dividend Growth Masters, and today I want to show you how you can screen for dividend stocks using Dividend.com. Now, the Dividend.com screening tool, there's a free version and a premium version, but I think the free version is perfectly fine if you want to use it to screen for stocks, and it's something that I use sometimes as well. And I think it's one of the more unique stock screeners for dividend stocks. So let's take a look on how to use it. So what you want to do is go to dividend.com and under tools, go to the stock screener. Okay, so there's a lot of things you can screen by with the dividend.com stock screener. One thing you can do is you can screen by sector. And this is really helpful if you're missing a certain sector in your portfolio. Let's say you don't have enough healthcare exposure. Well, what you could do is just select which healthcare companies, which sectors or industries you want to include in the search, and it'll search for those dividend stocks for you. So I think that's really cool. Now, something else you can also screen by is by market cap, and this is very, very helpful. Typically, I like to screen for larger market cap companies, so at least in the mid cap range. So we're talking about 2 billion plus in the screener. Sometimes I do use the small cap screener, but if it goes down to like 500 million market cap, I'm typically not as interested unless the yield is very good on a risk adjusted basis. Now, this is really cool because under Dividend.com, you can also screen by the type of stock that it is. Obviously, you can screen by common shares, but you can also screen by preferred shares. If you were searching for specifically MLPs or REITs, you can do that as well. So the cool thing about Dividend.com is the way that you can search for dividend stocks. You can search by the share price of the stock. You can screen by the dividend yield and the dividend payout. Now, not a lot of stock screeners can allow you to search by dividend payout, which is really nice because you can limit the maximum amount of the dividend that they pay out as their income. Obviously, we only want safe dividend stocks, so the dividend payout ratio is a really nice metric to be able to screen by. Obviously, the dividend yield is very nice to screen by too. Typically, I like to see at least 2 to 3% on my dividend stocks. Now, once you get into the advanced screening methods, I think it's really cool and how you can screen with Dividend.com. So one of my favorite ways to screen by is the dividend payout frequency. So you can screen by stocks that pay, a monthly dividend, quarterly dividend, semi-annual dividend, or just annually. So if you're really looking for monthly dividend stocks, you can screen for it, these ones. Now, when it comes to monthly dividend stocks, a lot of them are actually just index funds. So if you want to screen by, common shares or REITs, we can do that as well. So you can see which REITs are the ones that pay a monthly dividend. Obviously, one of the bigger REITs that pays a monthly dividend is Realty Income, yielding about 4% right now. We're just gonna click everything back again. Okay. Now, the last two features I think are some of the coolest features of Dividend.com, and that is the dividend increase. So basically, what you're searching here is stocks that have increased their dividend for at least 25 years or at least 10 years. And as a dividend investor, getting a dividend increase every year is really good for keeping up with inflation. Obviously, it's very hard at your job to get a raise every year, but if you invest in great dividend stocks, you can get a raise every year through your dividend. So you can either screen by a 25-year dividend increase or a 10-year dividend increase. So let's start with the 10-year. So these are stocks that have increased their dividends over the past 10 years every year. So you're screening companies like IBM, ExxonMobil, Verizon. Now, once you have once you input all of the factors that you want to screen by, you can look at the outputs. Now, under the free program, you really can't download into an Excel spreadsheet. You have to pay for the premium version. I'm actually not sure what the premium version costs, but one thing you can do is just copy and paste this into Excel yourself or enter it in manually. But it's not the biggest deal breaker that you can't pull this into Excel very easily just downloading it. But the main thing for the screening tutorial is being able to screen by various dividend metrics like dividend increases and the frequency of dividends. And I'm not sure, outside of very expensive software like FactSet or FactSet or what's the other one called? Interactive Brokers. Outside of those two, I'm really not sure of any other stock screeners that will allow you to screen by those metrics. So Dividend.com is a really powerful screening tool to have in your handbook to be able to screen for these types of companies. Now remember, screening for dividend stocks is just the first process in buying a stock. You should never buy a stock just based on the output of screening inputs. Obviously, we want to do some more research. So we've identified great stocks that have increased their dividends for the past 10 years, and the next step in our process would be to research some of these that look promising.